There is a unique and terrible silence that can only be found in a place built for noise, an empty concert hall, a deserted amusement park, or in this case, a luxury resort designed to strip you of the one thing that connects you to the world, your voice. Not your literal voice, of course. They encourage you to speak, to laugh, to tell them how wonderful everything is. They just want to make sure no one else can hear you. This is the story of 4 friends, a private island, and a discarded smartphone. It's a story about disconnecting permanently. Our 4 friends were Liam, Maya, Chloe, and Noah. Liam, the pragmatic leader, had entered some online contest on a whim. The prize was an all-expenses-paid weekend at the brand-new, ultra-exclusive Aethelburg Wellness Retreat. Its motto,
rediscover yourself in silence.
Maya, an aspiring influencer whose life was a carefully curated feed of sponsored happiness, thought it was a nightmare.
A digital detox? That's like asking a fish to take a water detox.
She'd complained on the private boat ride to the island. Chloe, who battled anxiety, was cautiously optimistic.
Maybe it'll be good for us. No pressure, no notifications,
She'd said, hugging her knees. And Noah, the easygoing peacemaker of the group, just shrugged.
Hey, it's a free vacation on a private island. What's the worst that could happen?
The island was stunning, a single forested jewel in a sapphire sea. The resort itself was a masterpiece of minimalist architecture. All clean limes, glass walls, and stark white stone that seemed to emerge from the landscape itself. It was beautiful, but it was a cold beauty, sterile. They were greeted at the docks by the resort manager, a man named Elias. He was tall, unnervingly calm, with a smile that never quite reached his eyes.
Welcome to Aethelburg. We are so pleased to have you. The first step of your journey to reconnection begins with a simple act of disconnection.
He held out a soft, velvet-lined box.
Your mobile devices, please, and any other electronics, laptops, smartwatches, they will be kept safe and returned to you upon your departure. Here, you will only need your 5 senses.
Reluctantly, they complied. Maya looked like she was handing over a vital organ. As Elias closed the lid on their phones, the world suddenly felt quieter, more isolated. The faint hum of the boat's engine was gone. There were no birds singing, only the whisper of the wind through the pines and the oppressive hum of total silence. They were shown to their cabins, separate but clustered together in a small, private clearing. That first afternoon was spent in a state of forced relaxation. A guided, silent walk through the woods where the only sounds were their own footsteps on the path. A mindful eating dinner where conversation was forbidden. It was unsettling. The staff moved with a synchronized, silent grace. They would appear at your shoulder to refill your water without a sound, their fixed smiles never wavering. It felt less like a retreat and more like a high-end, voluntary prison. The discovery happened that first night. Chloe, unable to sleep, was sitting on the porch of her cabin, trying to count stars in a sky unpolluted by city light. Her foot brushed against something hard under her chair. She reached down and pulled it out. It was a smartphone. Scratched, the screen protector cracked, but undeniably a phone. It didn't belong to any of them. Its case was a gaudy, glittery pink, something Maya might have chosen, but not the one she'd surrendered. Her heart hammered in her chest. A rule had been broken. She looked around, her eyes darting into the shadows between the cabins. She felt like a spy, a criminal. Scurrying inside, she locked her door and stared at the device in her hands. A found phone. It had 23% battery, no signal, and the Wi-Fi was a locked network called Severance. It was useless for communicating with the outside world, or even with her friends in their cabins just yards away. She had to tell them, but how? She couldn't call and she couldn't text. Suddenly, her eyes fell on the gallery icon. Maybe there was something there, a clue. The gallery contained 17 video files. She had to show the others. Quietly, she crept out of her cabin and hurried to Liam's door, tapping a special secret knock they had used since childhood. A moment later, a terrified Liam, followed by their friends, huddled together in her cabin. The light from the screen painted their faces in stark, terrified detail as she tapped the first video. The video was a mess of chaotic, blurred motion. A night scene, the panicked breathing of a woman, a flash of a white stone wall, one of the resort buildings. Then it ended.
What was that?
Noah whispered, his easygoing demeanor gone.
Probably just a guest messing around. An artsy, found footage video.
Liam scrolled to the next one. This one was longer, filmed inside a cabin identical to theirs. A young man with terrified eyes was whispering directly to the camera. His voice was a strained, desperate hiss.
They call it severance. It's not about disconnecting from your phone. It's about disconnecting you from your life. They watch you all the time. If you see the masks, it's too late. Don't go to the boathouse. I repeat, do not go near the...
The video cut out abruptly. A dead battery, maybe, or something worse. Silence. The four of them looked at each other. The resort's sterile beauty now felt predatory. The staff's silent attentiveness now felt like surveillance.
Okay, no one panic. It could be a prank. A very elaborate, sick prank.
The boathouse. We saw it from the boat, at the far end of the island.
We should go to Elias. Show him this now.
And say what? That we broke the main rule and found a secret phone? They'll think we're crazy. Or they'll just take the phone and we'll have no proof.
They spent a sleepless night, the phone hidden away. The next day, every interaction was coated in a thick layer of dread. The serene smile of the yoga instructor felt like a threat. The healthy organic breakfast tasted like poison. They noticed things they hadn't before. The strange, spiral-like symbol carved subtly into the wooden beams of the dining hall. The fact that there were no other guests anywhere.
We are at full capacity,
Elias had told them, but they were the only ones they ever saw. That afternoon, their scheduled activity was personal meditation time. They used the opportunity to head towards the boathouse. They tried to act casual, as if they were just exploring, but every rustle of leaves in the woods sounded like footsteps behind them. The boathouse was old and dilapidated, a stark contrast to the modern resort. The door was locked with a heavy, rusted padlock.
Now what?
Noah asked. Liam looked at the phone.
There are more videos.
He found another one. This one was filmed looking out of a cabin window. It showed 2 staff members in the distance, but they weren't wearing their pristine white uniforms. They were wearing dark, earthy robes and simple, horrifying wooden masks carved into blank, emotionless faces. They were dragging something between them, a body, and they were heading towards the boathouse. Then Liam played the last and most terrifying video. It was filmed in this very cabin, Chloe's cabin. The camera was pointed at the door. It was shaky, as if the person holding it was trembling violently. The video showed the door handle slowly, silently turning. The door creaked open, and a figure in a wooden mask filled the frame. The video cut out with a blood-curdling scream. Chloe backed away from the door of her own cabin, a hand clamped over her mouth.
That's it. We're leaving. Right now.
They ran, not to their cabins for their things, but straight back to the main dock where the boat had left them. But the dock was empty. The boat was gone. Mooring ropes were cut, swaying gently in the water. They were trapped. As that realization dawned on them, a slow, deliberate clapping echoed from the entrance to the dock. It was Elias. He stood there, his pleasant smile finally gone, replaced by an expression of cold disappointment. He was flanked by 2 other staff members.
Leaving so soon? You haven't completed your severance. You haven't yet been cleansed.
What do you want from us?
Liam demanded, pushing the others behind him. Elias tilted his head.
We believe the modern world is a disease, a plague of digital noise, of false connections. We offer a cure. We sever you from that world, from its pain, its distractions. We return you to the silence of the earth. It is a gift.
Then, from the woods surrounding them, more figures emerged, all wearing the same dark robes, all wearing the same blank wooden masks. The hunt began. They scattered, running blindly into the dense forest. The carefully maintained paths of the resort gave way to tangled undergrowth. Noah, the slowest, was the first to be taken. His scream was sharp, then abruptly cut short. Liam, Chloe, and Maya pressed on, fueled by adrenaline and terror. Liam remembered the videos.
The boathouse. The guy in the video said not to go there. It's a trap. Head for the cliffs on the other side.
They used the phone as their guide. The grainy videos, a map of horrors. A clip showing a hidden maintenance tunnel behind the main lodge became their escape route. Another showing a victim being cornered at the old chapel told them where to avoid. The phone, their only connection to the resort's terrible secrets, was now their only chance at survival. They were cornered at the edge of a cliff. Below them, waves crashed against jagged rocks. Behind them, the masked figures were closing in, their movements silent and deliberate. There was no escape. And then Maya, The girl who had mourned her phone more than anything else had an idea. It was insane. It was desperate. It was perfect. While the phone had no signal for a call, she had noticed something earlier. For a split second, when they'd climbed to the highest point of the path, a single bar of LTE had flickered onto the screen. It was their only hope.
I need to go live.
She gasped, her fingers flying across the cracked screen, opening an app.
If I can just get a signal, it'll stream to whoever owned this phone. Their account. It'll show everyone.
They'll get you!
Distract them.
Liam yelled. He and Chloe started screaming, throwing rocks, drawing the cultists' attention. Maya scrambled up a rocky outcrop, holding the phone high in the air. She fumbled to start a live broadcast. The screen buffered. One bar flickered. Then two. The Go Live button turned red. It was working. She turned the camera on her own terrified face, then spun it around to show the masked figures advancing on Liam and Chloe below.
My name is Maya. We are at the Aethelburg Resort. They're hunting us. They have killed our friend. Please, someone, send help.
Elias stopped. He looked up at her, his expression unreadable behind the mask. He raised a single hand. One of the figures broke from the group and began scaling the rocks towards Maya with inhuman speed. Maya kept filming, her broadcast a chaotic mess of screams, crashing waves, and the sight of the approaching masked cultist. She filmed as the figure reached her. She filmed as a hand lunged for the phone. The screen went black. The live stream ended. The live stream lasted for only 93 seconds, but it was enough. The phone belonged to a girl whose parents had reported her missing 2 months prior. The frantic, terrified alert from her social media account sparked a massive investigation. When the authorities finally stormed the island, they found it completely empty. The resort was still pristine. The beds were made, but the staff, the cult, had vanished as if they were ghosts. They found Chloe hiding in a small sea cave, catatonic with fear. They found Liam at the base of the cliffs, alive, with a broken leg. Of Noah and Maya, there was no sign, no trace. The Aethelburg Resort is now a restricted zone, another name on a list of modern mysteries. The viral 93-second video is a legend in online horror circles, endlessly analyzed and debated. Some say the cult still operates, finding new, remote places to offer their terrible cure. They say that sometimes, when the wind is just right, hikers on the mainland across the water can still hear a faint echo from the island, an echo of silence. And they are reminded that the most terrifying places are not the ones that are haunted by ghosts, but the ones haunted by an idea that to truly find yourself, you must first be completely and utterly lost.
Well, you made it to the end. Not everyone does. But this story is only one of many. Some endings are darker. Some far worse. If you wish to hear them, stay close, subscribe, and wait. The next tale will find you.